stand so I can kind of easily get to the table to show the products as I talk about them. So my introduction, I just have to say, my introduction to being involved in the world of natural healing professionally was when I was 20 years old. I was living in Miami Beach, and I stuck out my thumb to hitchhike, and somebody named Johnny picked me up. Johnny brought me to my first health food store and restaurant, and it changed my life. And ever since then, I've just voraciously been learning everything I could get my hands on. So yes, I'm a naturopath. I've studied colon hydrotherapy, nutrition, herbs, red light therapy, detoxification, and I came across Purium in 2014. And what was so incredible to me was it allowed me to duplicate myself. So there's only so many people I could see a day, and I could tell them, go to this store and get this, and go to that store and get that, and be in your kitchen for hours making juice, and here's where you get the juice from. And after a while, it was so unsustainable for people to keep doing. And so when I was introduced to Purium, it was like, oh my God, this is a user-friendly way. And I'm going to preface talking about the products to just say that there are certain principles that are very important to know about to get well, stay well, or reverse disease, which you can do. I'm saying that as a practitioner. I'm not saying that as a Purium person. But I know that dis-ease conditions can be reversed by putting the right nutrition from nature in our bodies. So, number one, digestion takes more energy than any other body function. So when you lighten or eliminate the need to digest, your body has all that energy to eat up, dissolve, and eliminate whatever is toxic. Mucus goes away, all of the toxins come out. And when you're, at the same time that you're detoxifying, if you're putting therapeutic amounts of nutrients in your body that require very little energy to digest, that is a winning equation. And that's what's special about all of these. Every one of them puts therapeutic amounts of nutrients that will address the deficiencies that are causing so many symptoms that so many doctors and hospitals will name as diseases. And so many of these nutrients will help poisons come out and will help to heal and repair the gut. So it's your own body's brilliance that's healing you. We're just supplying the nutrients that your body has been starved for. So when you're on the ultimate lifestyle transformation, most people are using it where you're having the shakes twice a day. So our power shake is a combination of the healthiest, and everything's organic. So our power shake is a combination of a lot of organic green foods. Green is like the blood of a plant, and so when it goes in our body, it gives us exactly what we need. It transforms and feeds our own blood. Things like alfalfa. Alfalfa is a green plant whose roots grow down 70 feet under the earth, so it's very, very mineral rich. There's another health principle that's very important. It's about the blood chemistry. Our blood is meant to be slightly alkaline, 7.35 to 7.45 alkaline. The only foods that create an alkaline chemistry are fruits, vegetables, their juices, sprouts, green foods like this, raw sauerkraut, seaweed. So this is a product that has lots of different greens. Wheatgrass, which is a blood purifier, spirulina, which is 65% plant protein. Grains is not a dirty word. There are a few grains in here that are alkaline, like millet, quinoa, amaranth, and they're wonderful for slow-burning carbohydrates. When you're having this twice a day, you want to have your fuel for your body for hours. So these foods in here are like putting logs on a fire that will keep your blood sugar level for hours. Something in here called rice bran solubles, rice bran. And that is very high in B vitamins and has a very good quality oil that actually helps for burn fat. It's not something, it stimulates the production of adiponectin, which burns fat. So this is a wonderful formula that you will have twice a day if you're embarking on the ULT the simple program, or you can just have it once a day if you're just beginning to dip your toe in this. Now, and that's not meant to be our main protein. There's 8 grams of protein in there, but that is mostly addressing keeping your body alkaline, feeding you the healthy phytonutrients. The super amino, when somebody here was asking me about protein, the special thing about this, they come in tablets. They do not need to go through the gastrointestinal tract for digestion. They go straight into our muscles within 23 minutes through our lymphatic system. This was developed by a doctor for his patients who were in a coma, for people who had cancer or AIDS, so they had muscle wasting. So because this doesn't need digestion and it goes straight to our muscles, it feeds our brain. And most protein that comes from animal food only absorbs maybe 30, 40, 50% at the absolute most. 99.9% this absorbs right into our body. Most protein, especially from an animal source, is very acid forming. And after metabolism, the byproducts are uric acid and ammonia, which are toxic. It's very hard for the liver to break them down. It's hard on the kidneys. So once again, when you want to get healthy, stay healthy, or reverse ailments that you have, you don't want any energy to be working extra at working hard on what you've just put in your body. You want everything that you're putting in your body to be pure fuel and medicine for you. So this is incredible.
Wow.
Athletes use it. There'll be questions at the end for people who want to
Yeah,
ask.
questions at the end, please. When Amy's finished, we'll
It's
have
incredible for athletes. It's incredible for older people who don't exercise. It's for everybody. All of these are for everybody. Okay. Now, as a colon hydrotherapist, this is very near and dear to my heart. So things like antibiotics, which people are just eating like candy. Most people are using animal products from diseased animals that are fed antibiotics to keep them alive. They're given hormones to make them fat faster. There's so much cruelty involved with animal production in this country. So and also there's a terrible chemical that's sprayed on all of our crops. It's sprayed on all of our grass, and it's known as glyphosate. It's the main ingredient in Roundup, which for many years Roundup was sold, and still is, it's sold in places like Home Depot as a benign weed killer. Well, nothing is further from the truth. There's nothing benign about it. And when glyphosate goes into your body, it makes little holes in the gut. So the gut, our whole internal system, our organs, are meant to be a closed system so that every organ undergoes its process, and nothing is supposed to leak through the membrane. But things like glyphosate make little holes in the gut. And so Biomedic is a combination of ingredients that it does a bunch of things. It's got fulvic acid, which normally in nutritional supplements is put in the supplement to drive the nutrition deeper down. But in this case, I remember Dave Sandoval talking about this. He said that when you use this, the fulvic acid actually acts like an escort. It goes into the body, into the gut, and pulls out the glyphosate and brings it up out of the body. There's another ingredient in here called humic ore. And when you have glyphosate in your body, it blocks the absorption of minerals in your gut, which you really need. So with this, it actually, the humic ore replaces the minerals that have been blocked from the glyphosate. We also have little finger-like projections in the small intestine known as villi. Well, the glyphosate destroys the villi. So we've got a special oil in here, an oil extract, that helps to repair that and bring those villi back to life. And the chemicals like glyphosate and the antibiotics kill all the good bacteria. So this has billions of, not just probiotics, but it's called probiotic spores. So if you remember dandelions, those little yellow flowers, and the ones that don't turn yellow that are sort of feathery, we used to blow on them and they go all over. Well, a probiotic spore is like that. It actually explodes into making many, many more probiotic substances that we need in our gut. So there's such a rise of autoimmune diseases today, and there's such a connection between the condition of the gut and the immune system. So when you heal and repair the gut, you will just see that the autoimmune diseases just go away. And so we're in a culture of going to war with pathogens and viruses and germs. We don't have to go to war with an autoimmune condition. We simply need to heal the gut, nourish our body properly, and get the poisons out, and magic happens. Now the super cleanser, just about everybody, they tell us if you go to the bathroom once a day, if you skip a day, for bowel movements, no problem. That's not true. We should be having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. So the ingredients in here will pull out a lot of old hardened waste that's on the walls of the colon. Because when you think about it, if you've got hardened cement in an organ that's supposed to be muscular and do an action known as peristalsis to move the food through and to move the waste through. Well, when you have hardened cement on that muscular organ, it can't do the contraction anymore. And then you keep having the diameter. We should have around a 2.5-inch space inside the colon and the intestines. Well, when you start having layers of waste build up, it starts to become as thin as a pencil. The opening is as thin as a pencil. That's why a lot of people see when they eliminate, they have like little pencil-thin stools, and it shouldn't be that way. The other thing about this is, besides pulling out the old waste, is it has herbs and ingredients that will kill parasites. Everybody today, whether you see it in your toilet or not, has parasites. Parasites develop on salads. That salads are being given a bad rap now, but they happen, I'd say, more in animal foods and in sushi. And so by using this you take 4 capsules, 2 capsules twice a day for 10 days during the 30-day program. This is a 30-day program. So that would be like days 11 through 20 you're using this. And then there's half the package left after your initial 30-day program. 20 days later, after the first round of this, you take it again, and the ingredients in here will pull out any parasites that the eggs that were left inside you from parasites will eliminate. So this is a very comprehensive way of getting parasites out of your body. Now the alpha omega essential oils are essential. And in the culture we live in and the foods we are served and the foods we buy, there's a lot of omega-6 oils. The seed oils. Oil is supposed to either be cold-pressed, expeller-pressed, unrefined, or extra virgin. Most of the oil you just see sold in the supermarket is clear. The omega-6, the omega-3, the majority of those come from fish. But a lot of people don't eat fish, or you can't eat enough, or our fish are very compromised by the amount of bad stuff in our ocean and mercury. So Purium uses an algae, which is what the fish feed on in the ocean. So we're getting algae, which is a very, very rich source of omega-3 oil in our body. It's essential for brain function, it's essential for the skin, for the eyes. And when you think about it, there are so many diseases we just rattle off as being diseases you get when you're older. And it's not really because these diseases afflict older people. It's because the more years you live on the planet, the more years you have to cumulatively be nutrient deficient, the more years you have to have poisons in your body that are not coming out. So the omegas are essential, even for women who are pregnant. They need this very much. So this creates a wonderful balance to the ultimate lifestyle transformation. Very important for, we're noticing when people start declining mentally, you can always connect it to an essential oil deficiency. And then the last part of this is called the alpha omega, and you've had it. You've had it. The last one is called sleep nightly, and there are many things that affect our sleep. If our muscles are in a state of contraction, you know, people tend to not breathe all day, and their shoulders are up here. So you're walking with, you know, contracted muscles. You're not breathing. You get into bed and your muscles are contracted. So there are herbs in here that will help relax the muscles. There are herbs in here that will lower, there's a stress chemical called cortisol. And there are things in Sleep Nightly that will relax the cortisol. There's chamomile in here, which is pretty much a universal relaxant. And then there's also a tart cherry in here, which is a naturally occurring melatonin, which is very different than taking a pill of melatonin. That's another thing about this whole program. It's very synergistic. You know, lots of different ingredients are put together as whole foods to affect all of our systems of our bodies. So melatonin coming from cherries is very different than in pill form. So a lot of people have gotten a lot of great results from getting a deeper sleep. When you don't have enough sleep, that can very much affect your health. So all of these put together, when you're doing the ULT, you're having 2 shakes a day. You're having the super amino twice a day to feed your muscles. You're having the biomedic twice a day to heal and repair your gastrointestinal tract. You're having the super cleanser just for part of the program and the middle of the program to get all waste and parasites out. I would just say it's a very balanced program. I've been working with it with my clients since 2014. And the results are spectacular because you're effortlessly alkalizing your blood. And so many people, if they don't, you know, it's very, very hard to sit down and have a big bowl of vegetables and do that a few times a day. But when you're taking a few spoonfuls and you're just putting it in a blender or just a shaker cup, you're getting like the equivalent of 6 salads every time you're drinking a shake or a drink. And that's enough to change the chemistry where you're no longer dealing with inflammation in your body. Inflammation is where disease starts. So I would just highly recommend this to anybody, and people who've already been using it know it and love it. And I'll be happy to answer questions
Why don't we
afterwards.
let Amy address the question?
Sure. Oh,
Yes.
you sure?
No,
Oh.
we'll let Amy do the
Sure.
question.
Okay.
Well, first of all, can we give Joyce a big round of applause? I mean, Joyce has been, she's so intelligent. She's so passionate about the simplicity of health. And she's always impressed me in the 13 years that we've known her. And she's always giving just great presentations about the value of what the nutrition brings. So thank you for this. And I'd also like to thank my amazing wife. I don't know if she's here, Lucy. Lucy organized this whole event. And she's cooked food for you all, that when you hang around afterwards, that there'll be some amazing food for you. And before Amy comes up, I'd like to have a testimonial. Maybe Carolina. Carolina just had a baby, and believe me, her story is one that you will sit up and take notes. And her and Rod have been eating Purium for about 6.5 years. And I'd love her to come up and just share a little bit about how much she's appreciated and loves this company.